What's up, geniuses? Welcome back to For the Record. Y'all know me. I'm your host, Rob Markman. It's not about me. It's about today's guests. Two of the biggest in the game, okay? When you talk about historic labels in hip-hop since 2013, this label has been home to acts like the Migos, Lil Yachty, City Girls, Lil Baby. And they're here today. The heads of the label, Coach K, P, Control the Streets Volume 2 is coming out. It's out, actually, right now. Yeah. And y'all gonna talk about it. I want to welcome y'all to For the Record, man. Welcome.
Man, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Nah, man. Thank you for coming through. One, I just want to salute you. Me and Coach were talking about this. Our very first episode of the show, For the Record, featured Lil Yachty. So, I feel like...
Yeah, I think it was the first show, right?
That was the very first episode. And I kind of feel like just the relationship between Genius and QC, we had some really kind of special moments, be it with Yachty, be it with the City Girls, Young Miami holding it down for Verified, Offset coming through to talk about Fall of Fall, man. So y'all really putting out music that moves the culture, and we love just to have you guys and your artists come and break it down, man, and give people deeper meaning behind all the music. So thank y'all for that. Control the Streets Volume 2.
Yeah.
Fire.
If you do say so yourself. What made it feel like now was the time to do the second volume of Control the Streets?
I think we about to enter a whole, another sector. This fourth quarter, if not all of our artists will be releasing projects. Mm-hmm. Most of them are, So, and we, in the first one, we gave you City Girls and Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying? Since then, we have developed more talent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Lil Baby and City Girls have became bigger.
Really like marquee talent. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like perfect timing. You know what I mean?
So Control the Streets as a brand, is it safe to say is like a launching pad for kind of like a playground for your established artists and a launching pad for a next generation?
Yeah, because and also just we took the first half of this year, like we had put out so much music in the last quarter of last year. We had put so much music out. We sort of was like giving everybody a break. You know what I'm saying? Well, we never take no breaks, but I was just saying as far as like putting out music.
Right.
We ain't really put out no lot of product in the first half. So it was like, this is the perfect time for us to put out the compilation, introduce the new talent, showcase that our established artists, let them put out some product in the market and get ready to gear everybody up for what's about to get ready to come.
Okay, I mean, you talking about, artists like Jordan Hollywood, Duke Deuce, Marlo, kind of this next generation that, I think the hyper fans have been introduced to with their own followings, but this really as a platform to get those artists off and running. Mm-hmm. Coach, you referenced the fourth quarter, and, I don't know. The fourth quarter used to be a really big thing in the music industry, especially when you talk about physical product. A lot of labels was like, right. It's Christmas time. Kids have Christmas money. Mm-hmm. Everybody's in the mall doing their holiday shopping, and we want new product on the shelves. Right. And the fourth quarter was a big thing in the music industry back then. You don't hear too many people talk about the fourth quarter anymore in this streaming era, but I've heard you reference it even before today. And so why is the fourth quarter still so important?
Last year we had a thing was that we put out like, I think we put out 10 projects out in 12 weeks last year, and all of them they just rolled over. Like P said, we wasn't taking a break first and second quarter. It's just everything just we put out so much heat last year that it just rolled over into the spring, into the summer, and not just to jump on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? Because like putting them projects at last fourth quarter, we didn't give everything time to, we was just going, bam, 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 bam. They was just riding off each other.
Yeah. For example, I'm in the cut you off, like Act Up, that came off the City Girl project. Mm-hmm. We put that project out in the fourth quarter, but look how big that song was in the summer for the summertime. So
we just letting it breathe. You know what I'm saying? So now we back around to the fourth quarter, but it's time to put out some more music. Right. You know what I mean? It's not that we was waiting on the fourth quarter. It's just how
it just timed out that way.
It just timed out that way.
So if things work out, and first of all, there's 36 tracks
exactly
on this, so there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of different potential in different areas. I mean, so by design, potentially we could be hearing tracks off of this project
For
next
sure.
spring, next summer,
You
when
know,
they reach their full potential.
Exactly.
Is the vision.
yeah.
For sure.
Want to speak some more about your vision, P. I want to go to you and your relationship with Lil Baby, because you know, you guys make the point, and you're right. I mean, Lil Baby is a star now, like marquee.
A global
Yeah,
global star now.
big. But you seen it in him early. Even what did you see in him, even from the streets? I had read where you said kind of just the way he used to conduct himself outside of music and in the streets, and the tenacity which he used to go at whatever his hustle was, that if he applied that to music. So was it musical talent that you seen in him early, or was it the hustle aesthetic? Like, how did you pick that out?
No, it was just a hustle, because you got to think about it. Lil Baby, he wasn't no rapper.
Right.
But he been around me since he was like a teenager, and I knew what his hustle was. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he got out of prison, Coach seen the musical talent in him. Saying, like, if he apply, his hustle to music, then he could be where he at right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he was already family, and I just knew that if he just had somebody to push him and just, instill in him that he could really do this, that he could be where he at now. So, we just got to work.
That's dope. But it's funny, and the reason why I asked that question, because there's a lot of people in the street who try to transition, and who may have, again, the tenacity in the street, but can't necessarily make that musical transition, because you're talking about talent. So it just so happens you've seen a hustle in them. But Coach, I mean, there's musical talent. Like, you listen to these Baby records, and it's undeniable what this guy could do musically as well. Just talk about how you find that out, and because I'm sure people come to both of you guys all the time, and you can only sign so many, you can only invest time in so many, you can only believe in so much. If you signed everything, the label wouldn't be worth as much as this quality, right?
I mean, I just seen something in him. I mean, it's like with anything, you got some of these artists now, man, they could just with the internet, man, could just go fuck around and just put something up. It could be catchy and go, right? But with Baby, all the things that, like, to me made Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? As I seen it in him, like the swag, his lingo, just his mannerisms, everything. And with anything, if you go in and put the work in, you know what I'm saying, you can make it become something. But he still had his voice texture was good too. You know what I mean? And I just always be on him like, man, I'm telling you, dog, if you would rap, I think you got it. You know what I'm saying? But he's a street guy. He's a street nigga. His whole thing was, that ain't what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Until, he ended up going to prison. And then when he came home from prison, he used to come to the studio and kick it.
That's dope, though, man. I think that's the type of artist development that we don't get, like believing and sticking with somebody. I mean, one of the highlights off of this project is the record with Lil Baby and the Baby. Yeah. Just to see those two together, because both of their ascents in music have been running almost parallel and also peaking at the same time. And I think there's the funny thing of just them having similar names,
Right.
but they both have A+ talent. So seeing them together on this record with the Scarface video was super dope. How did you know that was the right time to do that? Or do you guys do you let the artist be the artist, or do you put a record like that together?
No, we just, we let the artist be the artist. It's a team effort. I get all that credit to that song to Baby, because Baby been played me that record like months ago. Like, Baby's just always recording. He always recording. When he tour a lot, so when he not touring, he recording. But even when he on the road, he be recording certain records. So when me and him do just get in the room together, he'll just play me records. And he been played me that record like months ago. And when he played it for me, it was sort of different than how he normally be rapping, because he had like a different flow. A lot of people don't know he changed his verse. He had another verse.
Oh, wow.
on that song, and he was it was like a different style he had, but it was like really catchy. So when I called him up and was like, bro, I said, bro, I need like 3 songs for the compilation from you. He sent me that song. So we was gonna just put it out with just how it was with him. And he called me back and he was like, he called me back one day because I called him because I needed the session to it. I said, bro, send me the session so I can go and get these songs mixed and mastered. And he was like, bro, he said, bro, I'm gonna put a baby on that record. And I was like, you wanna know something? That's a dope idea. He's I already talked to him, I'm gonna send it to him today. And I just happened to be in LA. And as soon as I got on the phone with Baby, Quavo called me and was like, bro, I'm on the way to the studio to meet the baby. We about to do something with the baby. I like, all right, I'm gonna pull up. And then when I pulled up, I was like, baby said, he said, I already got it, I'm going in tonight. So then he sent the record back that night. When I woke up the next day, it was in my phone from both of them. And it's crazy because when I heard it, I was like, this song gonna go. I already knew it was a banger with Baby by itself, but then when he put him on it, I was like, oh, this thing about to go, and we put it out. We put it out like a few days later, and
it's going crazy. You know, it feels like, and y'all are good for that. I mean, since the beginning, there's kind of been these cultural moments attached to the records that y'all put out. Obviously, number 1 record, Bad and Bougie, was a cultural moment. Aside from all the accolades and how many times it streamed, it was just culturally you couldn't escape that moment. You know what I'm saying? I think early on, Versace was a moment where everybody's looking. Motorsport is like a moment. And the label has a lot of these. So, you know, credit to y'all too and for like letting the artists do what the artists do, but then giving...
we'll never get in the way of artists. That's one thing we always tell me. Your creativity's your creativity's. All we got to do is, when you give it to us, expand on it. You know what I'm saying? Wrap our arms around it.
So I want to talk to you about a record. We had Young Miami here to do Verified on I'll Take Your Man. Obviously, JT couldn't be a part of it. And she said, and it was dope because I think, you know, coming from the era that I come from, that we come from, just being connoisseurs of hip hop and seeing multiple generations of this, when you see the City Girls come out with a ode to like Salt and Pepper, it's like, oh, okay, that's what type of time they on. Yeah. But you also recognize these are young women. So Young Miami admitted to us, you know, in the Verified episode, she said, well, at first, you know, I'm kind of in the trap. I just wasn't really into the old school stuff and I didn't see the vision. But she said, Coach said, trust me. Go. Can you talk about the creation of that? Because you want the artist to be the artist, but sometimes...
I want the artist to be the artist, but when we signed them, that's all we kept saying was like, it ain't been a girl group since Salt and Pepper, right? And growing up, I remember as a kid, that record, I Take Your Man, that record was just so, you know, it affected the culture so hard, you know what I mean? That I called Pierre, I was like, man, I got a crazy idea. You know, I said, I think I even sent him the original record. I was like, dang, man, if we could redo this with the girls, it'd be crazy. So I hit the producer and was like, redo this. You know what I'm saying? But kind of, you know, switch
still make it modern.
Yeah, you know, still make it modern. You know what I mean? And when he sent the beat back over, man, shit, them girls went in there and knocked that shit out, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I remember when I first heard it, I was like, I had to call him like, did you hear what this girl said?
Seriously.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they was like talking that, you know, they brought that Miami, they brought that Miami swag to it, and they brought what they do to that record, and that record was big, man. I don't feel like it. I feel like it was just too early for
too early. Yeah,
like we would put it out like
now.
I think it. You know what I'm saying?
But it laid the groundwork and the foundation. I think it made people pay attention, even if it didn't reach its full potential. Yeah. Like when you heard that, like you had to stop and look and say, who is that? Where's that coming from? Yeah. And what is this?
Because after they cut it, they was still kind of like, we don't know. Until they went to perform. I remember Miami called me like, damn, we can't even, like, the intro into the record, the girls is already on it. Right. Before they even, you know, it's like they start going with them, you know? So, yeah, it was.
And then that's all it takes to believe. Because all you want as an artist, right, coming up is you want the world to sing your songs.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they see that, and it gives them a new level of confidence that they, you know. With the City Girls is interesting. Again, just credit to you guys. I think with JT going in, you know, you can never be all the way prepared for something like that, for somebody doing a bid. And, you know, things could have easily and understandably been on hiatus, fell apart.
Yeah.
and y'all all worked with Miami to keep the whole City Girls brand running, because even though JT wasn't here, she came up. I remember she came around to do press without JT, but it always felt like a City Girls thing, and it always felt like the group was being well represented.
But see, that's the thing about it, though. Nobody's prepared for somebody to go, do a bid or whatever. But when we signed them,
Start preparing.
We signed them knowing that she was going to jail. She had already been sentenced. And we was like, how much time you got? And then she was like, 2 years. We was like, oh man, we can do. You ain't gonna do the whole 2 years, so we'll just be getting this thing hot by the time you come back home. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate to say this, but sometimes them type of setbacks, it's sad that it gotta happen like that in our genre of music or our culture. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes some of these artists, when they go sit down, they come back even bigger. You know what I'm saying? But we already had a plan. Like, listen, if y'all get in this studio and work and knock these records out and knock all these videos out, because you gotta understand, like Act Up, for example, we put that record, that tape came out in what, November?
It came out November last year.
November, but it was the hottest song of the summer. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes these records, you gotta work these records these days now. Like, unless you just catch a record like some of the internet people be putting up and it just go viral, you gotta get out here and work these records. And over here at Quality Control, we really put the work in with working these records. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it don't instant hit, we don't care. We're gonna keep promoting it. We're gonna keep driving the record and doing everything we could do to work it. So if you going in for 2 years, but we got 8 videos already shot.
Yeah.
We got records, you know what I'm saying? And you got another member to, keep your face alive, man. By the time you come back, you know what I'm saying? Like, 3 of these records will be on fire, and you'll be coming back home to a situation. So we were prepared for that situation.
Another thing that we've seen, and as JT is, as if we listen to reports, is preparing to be home soon in a matter of months, maybe, right?
Yeah, no, it ain't even months.
It ain't even months.
No, okay. She about to come home.
Okay,
so soon.
That's dope. And we got that announcement of Young Miami being pregnant. There was the documentary where she actually calls you and tells you, and again, I don't know what the plans are, right? But I think in the past, a woman artist getting pregnant might mean that you have to sit down for a while, whatever. I think with Cardi, somebody that QC manages, again, when we talk about culture and what your team is doing, I think Cardi and Offset had their baby. And it's almost like, we didn't miss it at all. It's like she worked all the way through it. I think even through your artists and the camp that y'all have, y'all redefining how women artists are moving out here, how women artists are seen, and that women get to choose when they're going to sit down and raise a family and when they're going to stop working. And I feel like things is changing, and I'll give them the women credit for that. I'm giving Cardi credit for that. I'm giving Young Miami credit for that. But under y'all umbrella that y'all created, it's kind of a beautiful thing. That these women feel like they have options now, and that is not being dictated for them because they choose to start a family.
No, for sure. I mean, they have control of what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Me and P's part is just to give them, give them an outlet. You know what I mean? And support them.
Right.
Which is, is a big thing, man. It's like it's a big woman empowerment movement going on right now. And we support it.
Right. And I think it's dope too. Obviously with the City Girls, Megan Thee Stallion, who isn't signed to y'all, but it just feels like this big kind of moment that happens, and once again, QC is in the center of it.
Yeah.
Or QC.
Yeah, the females going hard right now, man. Like, it's daytime right now. I'm really glad to, be able to be a part of it and witness how, it's just shifting. Like, all these different females is popping up and they putting numbers on the board, and they taking charge and they being in control of their business. And the females going harder than some of the
a lot of
these guys out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's
very competitive.
It's very competitive business right now. It's looking good for the females, and I'm just glad that we able to be a part of some of the females that's out here having success, and shout out to all the other ones that's out here doing their thing.
Is the plan for when JT comes home? Does she hit the ground running? Does the City Girls?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. She when JT come home, she coming home, but she gonna be in the halfway house for she gonna be in the halfway house for a few months. But the beautiful thing about it is when you in the halfway house programs, they allow you to work.
So she can come to the studio. She probably just has a curfew that she got to be back.
That'd be her job.
Yeah,
Right.
that'll be her job. So why she gonna be recording, preparing for the project and stuff, and then once she get off that, we gonna hit the ground running.
One of the things that hit the headlines was Yachty having the writing credit on Act Up. Did y'all see that in him early on too? That Yachty could not only be an artist himself but a writer for others. It was something that I think the industry and fans at large maybe discovered in that moment. But was that something that he's been developing, or something that y'all knew about?
I mean, all our artists are pretty much good writers. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just something that he wanted to do at the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just something that came out of him right then.
What do y'all say when one of my favorite projects last year, and I loved when he came to Genius and spoke about it, was Offset with Father of Four. Because I don't think nobody saw that coming. We seen the headlines, we seen what his life is. We know that he has children, we know that he has a wife, we know that he goes through ups and downs with it. It plays out on the blogs. Right. I didn't know that he was going to address it in the music quite in that type of way until he delivered the project, and it was refreshing. When Offset kind of came to y'all with this idea of Father of Four, like, what was the reaction?
I mean, it wasn't no reaction because like that's Offset. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't. I think like a lot of people, they get so blinded by social media, and the artists like, jewelry and just having fun and, all the stuff that come with this rap life. The thing with the Migos is we know them. They real people. You feel what I'm saying? All these guys, they 3 different individuals who have their own lives, have real issues like everybody else, but, for the group is so big, and only thing you see is Migo. You never get a chance to. People didn't never get a chance to understand and learn who they was individually. Right. You know what I'm saying? Offset is a real man. You know what I'm saying? He got responsibilities, and I think he wanted to showcase what his life was and wanted people to get to know, to see another side of the group. You know what I'm saying? By letting people know, what he presented out there to the world. So, it wasn't no surprise to us. It might have been a surprise to everybody else, but Offset, he a real individual. So
yeah, it was just perfect time for all 3 of them to show their individuality. Because everybody just been seeing the group. So Offset, you seen that's him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Migos, that's him. His kids, he's married. That's
And Quavo's project, we saw him stretching the boundaries of what we knew of him musically.
You've seen the, all that. You think about Quavo's video. You had all the athletes, and that's his real life outside of Migos. You know what I'm saying? And then with Takeoff, he's quiet, right? But it was a very lyrical, project.
That album was definitely him. It definitely was like,
for sure,
those that knew. And it impacted.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And he didn't do much. But, I mean, I guess if you're a Migos fan, you didn't expect him to. Like that guy just kind of feels like he's just about the music. He's going to drop off his verses and then
he don't care about life is.
Yeah. Nah, that's awesome. I want to talk about Drake real quick because I had seen a quote, Coach, that would you say he was like an unofficial member of QC, and I remember being at Birthday Bash. This is back when I used to work at XXL and MTV. I used to go to Birthday Bash every year in Atlanta to make it my business to be out there because you would see things in Atlanta early.
Right.
Like, I remember seeing Travis Porter rock Phillips Arena, or seeing when Pastor Troy comes out every other year, the love that he gets. I remember being in the hallway when Drake and Migos crossed paths.
Well, that's crazy.
And I probably in my old BlackBerry, I was at MTV at the time. If I look at my old BlackBerry, I probably got a picture, like, you know, my hand up like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Of those guys. And Drake.
We were just talking about that moment before we got here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did that moment? What was that like? Describe it from your perspective, because Drake was actually there to if you remember, 2 Chainz had to perform, so he was a surprise guest for Chainz.
Because 2 Chainz was headline.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of talk about that moment, because I think I remember just everybody in the hallway just like
that moment. This one projects has come out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you know when we started it, you know, we was dropping projects like everybody else would drop projects. So we dropped a mixtape on Tuesday. Birthday Bash was that Friday, but we had a major campaign behind Migos, you know? So come that, it's crazy. Migos, they wasn't even scheduled to be on it, but DJ Drama had a set, and he was like, at the time, they was the hottest. You know, we just dropped our mixtape, and they was hot in the streets. He was like, I want to bring them out on their set.
And everybody in the city knows.
Everybody in the city knows, you know what I'm saying? So when we walking in, when you seen us, and we cross paths, Drake come over, straight up, he said, Coach, he said, this your group? I was like, yeah. He said, man, I've been listening to their mixtape every day. It just came out Tuesday. This is Saturday. But he quoted lyrics from one of the songs.
So he wasn't lying.
He wasn't lying. He said some shit. I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And then like a few days later, because we exchanged numbers and shit, a few days later, he texted and was like, send me one of them records. I want to get on it. And we sent them 2 songs. And probably a few days later, he sent the verse back from Versace.
That's crazy. And
it was so dope. He's, you know, big ups to Drake. Drake is
Drake
that's
family,
our partner.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Drake told us straight up. He had just launched OVO, his radio show. He was like, let me put it out. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time it was a big platform. He said, let me put it out on my platform. And we said, go ahead. And he put it out. And
that's hard. Nah, he shows y'all a lot of love, and I feel like he's on stuff early. I think even Yes Indeed with Lil Baby, like
man,
one of my favorite parts of the Drake tour. I saw it when it came through. I think it was MSG when he came through New York, and I don't believe Baby was on stage with him. I don't think he came out that night. But the yellow Ferrari. Like Pikachu, the balloon. Yeah. So it felt, even though he wasn't there and that record was a part of the show, you still felt Baby's presence every night. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was super dope and creative.
Shout out to Drake, man. Like, man, he been supportive of us. We just left the OVO Fest. Me and Baby and Offset and Carter, and it was an amazing experience just to see how much support he was getting out there. And he always show love, and man, I hope he come jump on one of our new artists. How he did everybody else.
Does that happen? Did that get negotiated with a phone, or is it just a really organic thing?
No, it's a real organic thing. Even with the City Girls. Like, I never forget, I woke up out my bed one morning and I was just checking my DMs, and I had a DM in there for him, and he was like, bro, I want to do a record with, I got something for the City Girls. Can I get them to get on this record? And I remember I just was looking at it, and I was just like, man, Drake calling me, asking me about the City Girl? What? You know what I'm saying? And I hit him up, and he had the record, and it was just crazy that, and this was early on before they really, before they really popped. But
he said he had been bumping their stuff though. He said he listened.
He be on stuff early.
Right.
Like I don't know how he got so much stuff going on in the world and still be on the bottom just seeing stuff early. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to him, man.
Some say that about y'all. How do y'all discover music?
Same way. We on the bottom with it. You know what I'm saying? Right. You got so much stuff going on, but you still got to pay attention.
Can't never get disconnected.
Yeah.
Right. I just want to take a little bit of time to talk about the business of QC, because I feel that's important. I feel what y'all are doing right now, growing up, are things that I personally have seen. If you just go back, like hip hop. Let me take it back. The major labels in music, right? But it's Def Jam. It's No Limit. You know what I'm saying? It's Russell and Rick Rubin in their college dorm room. It's Master P out the trunk. Yeah. In New Orleans, it's Birdman and Slim. It's Jay-Z and Dame Dash. It's these labels that I think get us as a culture to aspire the most, right? Yeah. We get into these labels, and now we know what to ask for. because I knew Rockefeller coming up had a 50-50 joint venture. So even if I don't understand what a JV is, like you can go, I want a joint venture. I ain't leaving here until I get a 50-50. Yeah. And I feel like each generation, the information that's left behind gets elevated. And, you know, hopefully if it all works out, future generations are left in better situations, better business deals. So I kind of want to use this portion of the interview to talk about the evolution of QC so people can understand. So maybe the next CEO is watching this and gets a little bit of game. Dirty Dollar.
Yeah.
Was original.
Yeah.
Who inspires you? Who are you looking at in terms of kind of wanting to run and have your own thing, P? Who are you looking at that inspires you to start Dirty Dollar?
Birdman and Master P. Yeah. Like when I was coming up, like in the hood, you know, everybody was looking at No Limit and Cash Money, you know what I'm saying? And from being from Atlanta, you'll look at Outkast, but like Outkast and the Dungeon Family, it was like, when we looked at them, they were like, they from Atlanta, but they was a group. But when you see Master P and you see Cash Money, they was like having all these different artists, and they was showing that for a black man, you know what I'm saying? And not, don't let me leave out Jay Prince too with Rap A Lot, you know what I'm saying? You know, with the Ghetto Boys and all that stuff that they was doing over there, you know what I'm saying? But when I was looking at Master P, it was like, I remember when I used to get the Source magazine, and when I was young, I went to prison when I was young, and I had to go sit down when I was younger. And I remember in prison, only thing that we looked forward to was to getting the Source magazine and the Double XL magazine. And I remember every month when we used to get that Source magazine, man, every time you open up that magazine every month, Master P will have like, he'll have a page in there.
Maybe 2 pages.
He might have 2 or 3 pages.
It might be one with him, and then the other one with all the projects that they had.
Yeah, exactly. And every month, I don't care if it was, I ain't even never heard a lot of these artists, but it was like Mercedes, Gambino, the Gambino family, and Soulja Slim, and you know, all these different artists. You know, we all knew who Mystica and C Murder and Silk and all them was, but every month, man, he was having like new artists. And I used to just look at that magazine. I used to be like, man, whoa, this a black man doing this. And I just remember when it used to be, he'd say, he's always have a slogan in there, like he used to say black, independent black owned or something like that, or whatever.
Black
on. You know what I'm saying? And used to see Birdman with the Hot Boys and what they was doing. It was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think anybody from the South, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about, you know, up north, and probably for up north, people looked up to Diddy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Diddy, because it was just closer to home, Jay-Z, Rockefeller.
And Jay-Z and those guys, you know what I'm saying? Murder Inc., stuff like that. But for me, coming from the South, being from Atlanta and just being from the South, for me, it was like Jay Prince, Master P, Birdman, you know what I'm saying?
And we got the same Source magazine, so we seen that too, but it was something to be able to, you might see Diddy if you was in the club, you know what I'm saying, getting rushed in and you was online, or so it just felt closer to our reality. Coach, you had a famous quote that I love, and I want to try to get into the moment for you when you figured out, because everybody who knows your history knows management, Gucci, Jeezy, Pastor Troy, and you said, man, managers could get cut out of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey man, it's crazy. Let me just chime in on something, because that's how me and Coach really got in business. Because at first, like, he was managing the Migos, and when I came to him to start QC, I was like, yo, he like, I'm a management, then you know, you got the label or whatever. But then he said that same thing to me. He was like, yo, I need it. Yo, can you make sure you cut me in, because manager can get cut out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey man, I ain't greedy, man. Let's partner up and let's just do this. So it's crazy he said that to me when we first started.
I just, man, like being in the business for so long, being a manager, you help build artists and their brand. You know what I'm saying? And then with doing that, like, you don't have no ownership in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if y'all split, if y'all have I mean, it could be good, bad, whatnot, and y'all just like, we're gonna part ways. When it parts,
Take everything you came with.
you know what I'm
If
saying?
that. Because sometimes you might lose what you came
You
with.
feel what I'm saying? So it's like, after a few times of doing that, man, I just got tired of it. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, let's just start a label. That way, we can sign things, we can develop it. You know what I mean? And because I had in the past, you know, I've developed talent, and then I would take them to major labels and just go get deals. You know what I'm saying? But get them deals. You know, so
That's dope. That's dope. I wanted to kind of have a little bit of this talk again to inspire. I think it's so important.
And I think this really need to be addressed in you know, while we on this platform, let's address that because that's very important. Because I'm gonna tell you what I see a lot in this business. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say this to all the managers and the young managers out there. I see a lot of artists. They don't end up leaving with who they started with.
Yeah.
So here you go. You got a manager, and you got an artist, and you got you know, they started together. You know, they go to building. This manager, he out there putting his whole life, his whole whatever. He might not even got the money, but he out here busting his ass. He ain't making no money, but he building with this artist. And artists, you know, they got egos and stuff. You know what I'm saying? When the artists get up to a certain point, you know, I don't know what might happen. I just see it happens a lot. I don't know nobody business. I just see it a lot in this business.
they forget about.
The managers that I seen coming up grinding with them, you know, once they get to a certain point, then they might go jump on this other wave, you know what I'm saying, with somebody else who wasn't with them in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Only reason that this person who you done jump with now, only reason why they paying attention to you because
Everything that
was done before that. You feel what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
person wouldn't even probably mess with you when you was down here at the bottom. But that manager that you done cut out, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, he was with you through, you know, the whole process. So, I mean, I think artists, you know, we gotta do better as a people just to understand the people who was with us before we even got the people who were down with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in the music business, it's all kind of crazy shit be going on. But if you got somebody that was with you from, you know, when you weren't then, man, figure out how to still, you know, work it out with that person, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, because like loyalty, I just stand on that. Like that's just a big thing to me, man. Like, you know, loyalty. I try to build our whole thing off loyalty, and we've been fortunate enough. We done had artists that's not with us no more, and that's, you know, that's part of the business now, and that's why we have so many artists now. Like I'm always trying to look for the next artist. I'm not never getting caught up on one artist because I see what artists do. I see what's being done in the business. So I'm a hustler, man. You ain't about to have me putting all my money in investing in you, and then you think you get too big head and think you gonna cut me out. Now ain't gonna happen because I'm already have 10 other
ready to go.
artists ready to go. You know what I'm saying? That's just the hustler in me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I would just love to see as a, you know, for our culture and our community, I would just love to see, you know, people just
Stick together.
More loyalty. It's
You know what I'm
us,
saying?
even as fans and
And let me say this though too. I want to say this too. It's a lot of peoples out there that's just, you know, that's just sitting back, just waiting for people to break
One
off so
slip.
they can come jump in and get in their business. Man, people need to stop doing that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a dirty game. Like I don't chase artists. Like I don't wait till artists get big and all that. And then every artist that we ever had, we built them from the ground up.
well,
you know what I'm
clearly,
saying?
just a story about Baby, who again one of the biggest
I
artists.
mean, all
right
of
now,
them. We
but,
never had
yeah.
we never signed an artist from QC that was already big. I don't even like chasing out the artists like that. Like, cause
That's when you get caught up in it.
yeah, you feel what I'm saying? I'd rather build with you because when you do even get a chance, when the thought even come in your mind about trying to cross me or want to even part way, I want you to still think back and say, man, you want to know something? Man, I remember when I ain't had shit. Man, the man came and invested in me. He believed in me when nobody did. He grinded with me. You know what I'm saying? He put the money up. He invested. He did the blueprint. He believed in me when nobody else did. So let me think about that before I even try to. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, it's a cutthroat business out here, man.
Right. Real man, but y'all doing dope business, like I said, affecting the culture. I know that meant a lot because I know in just watching past interviews, you a man of few words. And I think for you to go off on that, man, it really shows what's important to you and what's important to y'all as a label and a brand.
Yeah.
For sure, man. And I appreciate y'all coming through to Genius, man. Definitely, Control the Streets, Volume 2.
Yeah.
It's out now.
Out now. Going
It's funny. I'm gonna hold you to
Streaming.
that. I'm gonna be thinking about it next summer when one of these records pop off from.
Yeah.
Oh,
Still,
for sure.
But you gotta understand with streaming now, it ain't even about. I mean, of course, everybody's still first week. But with streaming, when it's there. You can go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. We just watched a documentary on Motown. Right. They took one record and made it #1 twice. Once with Gladys Knight and the Pips, and then once with Marvin Gaye. The same record. And with streaming now, anything can happen.
You see what Drake did, where he just dropped a care package. He had the #1 album in the
Same
country
shit.
off of stuff that was previously done.
Exactly.
So the rules are being rewritten, man, and you guys are definitely part of the generation that's rewriting these rules.
JT might come home and one of them records that was, it might reignite.
Right.
We might say, we got to shoot a video for this. She home now. This, you never know.
Right. It'll be dope, man. Just make sure all the artists come to Genius
for sure.
to break it all down, man. We want to be a
sure.
part of the story with y'all, but definitely appreciate y'all coming to the show for the record. Thank you for all the support. And y'all, appreciate y'all for watching. Hopefully y'all got some game from this. Sometimes we bring artists through. Sometimes we have panels. Sometimes we have executives. You never know, man. The next QC CEO might be in those comment sections, man. So let us know. Talk to us. We'll talk back. And check us out next week on For the Record. Peace.